Israel continues ramping up its troop presence near Rafah, pushing Palestinians out of the area to flee for safety. The United Nations says almost 500,000 Palestinians have fled the area in the past week alone in order to avoid the looming offensive. Meanwhile, Israel conducted multiple deadly airstrikes overnight. This rubble you're seeing is a refugee camp that's in central Gaza. More than a dozen people reportedly died there. I want to bring in CBS News foreign correspondent Imtiaz Tyab, who's joining us now from Tel Aviv. Imtiaz, you've written such a moving story with these remarkable images of the damages of these strikes. Talk to us about where are the people who are being displaced, especially from Rafah, are expected to go?
Lilia, it is indeed a horrifying and harrowing situation on the ground inside Gaza right now with, as you so rightly say, 500,000 people being displaced in really the last week or so. And let's really consider that number for a second. 500,000 is roughly a quarter of the population of all of Gaza, who have in the last week been displaced, fearing more violence. Now, where those in the south are going, they're going largely to a place called Al-Mawasi, which is a pretty desolate area. In my previous reporting trips to Gaza, I've been there. It's essentially just sand dunes relatively close to the sea. There's no sewage, there's no sanitation. There's very little there to protect them from the elements. And crucially, Lilia, there's very little aid. In fact, we understand that no aid has come into Gaza in the last week or so.
Oh my God, and the situation there worsening. We're also learning, Imtiaz, that a UN staff member was killed and another injured when an aid convoy came under fire Monday. This keeps happening. What more are we learning about this newest incident?
Yeah, it's of course very alarming. This is the first UN aid worker, international foreign aid worker, to be killed since this war has been taking place in Gaza. What we understand is that he was on his way to one of the hospitals in southern Gaza when his convoy came under attack. We understand that it was an Indian national who was killed, and as you said, one other was injured. Now, we don't know very much more beyond that. However, the UN has said that Israel was aware of the coordinates. But as you can imagine, the situation in southern Gaza is extremely chaotic as Israel continues to widen its assault in that area against what it says are Hamas's final 4 battalions. But very quickly, Lilia, I should say that Human Rights Watch has put out a report in which it says that they've recorded 8 separate incidents where aid workers have been targeted directly by Israel since this war began. And that, of course, is devastating for those who are simply trying to help civilians in Gaza.
It's reminiscent of the World Central Kitchen workers who were killed. So on the topic of aid, Imtiaz, the White House has expressed its quote, total outrage after a far-right group of Israeli protesters attacked an aid convoy in the West Bank. Those images, too, are just remarkable. What happened? What's being done to prevent something like this from happening?
Yeah, disturbing images, frankly, Lilia. A group of Israeli settlers in the occupied West Bank targeted this aid convoy, which was transferring food aid and other aid from Jordan to the Gaza Strip. We could see those images of them taking boxes, throwing them on the ground, opening up bags of flour and spilling out its contents. But what I can also tell you is that a large group of Israelis, far-right Israeli protesters, are marching to the border area with Gaza and are blocking aid trucks there as we speak. And it really just underscores this growing movement inside Israel of far-right groups essentially trying to block aid. They're saying that any aid into Gaza will, quote, go straight into the hands of Hamas. There's absolutely zero evidence of that. But what we do have strong and undeniable evidence of is that famine is widespread in Gaza. In fact, according to USAID's Sam Power, of course, the former ambassador to the UN in the Obama administration, who now heads USAID, she's calling it a famine in several parts of Gaza, and they desperately, desperately need aid.
Wow. Imtiaz, tough reporting. Thank you so much.